So I made a video a while ago about how I do my eyebrows, and up until very recently I was still using the exact same Anastasia dip brow pomade that I was using in that video, and that was a couple years ago, so that's pretty disgusting, and it just wasn't working out anymore. Like, obviously through time the product began to dry out, so I tried putting a bit of oil into it to make it less dry, but it just ended up looking like diarrhea, like shit, just shit. And I was like, nope, that's where I draw the line. So I finally got a new one in a different color, but it's still the same product and it looks exactly the same. So anyways, I wanted to do an updated eyebrow routine video, although it's not really an update because I still pretty much do the exact same thing, but I do feel like I'm a bit more skillful about how I do my brows, like how I fill them in and everything, and I actually do get compliments from random people in public about my eyebrows. And I have better equipment now, and I feel like I can explain things a bit better this time around. So hopefully this video can help people out who are struggling with their eyebrows. So let's get into it. This is the state of my brows after a few weeks of not grooming them. God, my eyes look super uneven here. Okay, as you can see, the hairs are pretty long and there are those ugly little strays nowhere even close to your brows. What are you doing? Speaking of which, that's usually what I take care of first. Just with a pair of tweezers, pull those suckers out. And of course, brush them away from your face so they don't get in your eye. Ugh, the ones that are actually closer to the brows always hurt a little for me. And just by plucking out those strays, it looks a lot better already. Okay, the next thing I do is shape the brows. I get these brow razors from Daiso. Surely you can find similar ones online. I recommend getting longer ones like this one because I feel like the length can help you measure the symmetry of your brows. I prefer my brows to be relatively straight with just a slight arch, so I align the razor at a slight angle and slowly, carefully, start shaving down a bit. Your preferred brow shape might be different from mine, so just angle your razor accordingly, but remember that you can always shave more, but you can't add your hairs back. My natural brows extend the arch further than I would like, so I shave down the ends a little bit to shape the arch. I also may do a little bit at the bottom of the brow so that the shape is more boxy throughout. However, I would just recommend plucking the hairs at the bottom instead. While I'm still using the razor, I like to shave the little fuzzies on my face, on my mustache, on my sideburns, and also my forehead because for some reason, hair exists there. The shape is set, but we still gotta take care of these hairs that are just a little bit too long. I use a pair of eyebrow scissors along with like a lash comb brush. You can also use a spoolie brush if you have that. I just kind of push on my brow and then drag the hair down slightly. That way you can see which hairs are growing a little too long and then cut them. I cut them along the shape of the brow that I created earlier as to not make them too short because then your hairs would just look really sparse. I then push the hair upwards and do the same thing because my brow hairs do grow in different directions from the front to the back. So I would say if your hairs grow down, push them down, and then if they go up, push them up. And these are my brows fully groomed. As you can see, they're not totally even, but clearly my eyes aren't even either. My face is just asymmetrical, and that's okay with me. Now I'll show you how I fill in my brows. I usually do all my makeup before my brows, so I'll just do that. Whoa, that was so fast. Okay. Again, I use Anastasia dip brow pomade in medium brown with an angled eyeliner brush. I start off with my good eyebrow, which is usually my right one. I start off by lightly shaping the curve at the bottom of my brow and extending the length to about where I want it. I will then concentrate on filling in the front of my brows. My brow hairs are naturally very light, so I want to add some darkness so that it matches better with my hair color. Then, working my way towards the end, I will angle upwards a bit to create the arch following that slight curve I made initially at the bottom of my brow. I continue to adjust the arch a little bit when I fill in the ends of my brow, using a Q-tip to clean things up if necessary. The ends of my brows are the greatest struggle for me because there really isn't any hair there, so it requires a lot more product. finally, I extend the front of my brows just a little bit to make my eyes look less farther apart. Usually before I jump into doing my other brow, I first make little marks to match the distance, the thickness, and the arch of the other brow. Then it's just the same technique, but having those little marks there helps make things a bit faster in the end. Oh, too much product there. Tried to fix that. Actually made it look worse. Oh well, I made it work anyways. One tip is to pull back and look at your whole face sometimes because it might not be symmetrical if you're just concentrating on one eyebrow. I sometimes go back to the other brow to make adjustments, mostly for the thickness. And voila! And that's how I do my eyebrows. I really hope this video was helpful to you in your pursuit of awesome looking eyebrows because no one should ever live with crappy eyebrows, right? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate ya, and I'll see you whenever. Bye!